What's good? World Combat Sports on deck. I'm gonna give it time for people to get in here, you know what I'm saying? And just give me a little bit of time to let some people get in here. I know it might be them getting off work and all that. Let me switch this up too. First of all, shout out to the WCS supporters as always. Appreciate the ones who support the channel and support me in general and the grind to cover combat sports. This is World Combat Sports, back at it once again. Mitch on deck. Salute, my brother. How you feeling today, man? Y'all want to touch bases on the post-fight aftermath that's going on, and also address, you know, some of the collateral behavior that I'm witnessing out here with just individuals who's pointing the finger at the wrong people. Like, you pointing the finger at the wrong people because of this loss. You know what I'm saying? The fight card is over, and all that people can talk about is the fact, I mean, not the facts, the opinions as to why they believe Wilder lost. You know, one, we already know they're blaming the reason why he lost on him as a fighter. He ain't never been shit. He ain't gonna be shit. That's pretty much what their language is, right? He always been the same, you know, one right hand, blase, blase, right? But then we have other individuals that's out here in the media that you thought you was cool with, right? They get mad at you like you have an open deck with them. Like, they'll shoot you a subliminal email and they upset at you for supporting Wilder up to the point of him receiving his second loss. But this time, it was via knockout. It was definitive. So they look at it like, man, you've been up here, you know, supporting Wilder, and you know, you want to stick by him. I've been trying to tell you the whole time that, you know, he can't box. He ain't the best. He ain't that. Okay, but you have the right. You have the right to your opinion. You have the right to speak your mind like everybody else. But there's an issue going on here, people. There's a big issue, right? I know YouTube is growing as a media space of individuals that never had a voice in their life. Some of y'all, you never had a voice in your life, but now you get to be in front, center stage on social media, YouTube, Facebook, and you get to speak your piece on whatever the case is. And if people tune in and listen to you, they'll subscribe to your channel on YouTube, they'll follow you on IG, whatever the case may be, right? Some of y'all just started this shit. When I say never had an audience to listen to you, that's what I mean. You never had an audience to listen to you. Now you do, all right? But the influence of YouTube is, with the stage that is set, and the platform that these individuals have, they choose to selectively choose where the current in which they're trying to talk to their audience and what message they're trying to send to their audience, especially talking about these combat sports. They try to figure out, what do I like the most? Who like me the most? What type of audience like me most? What should my topics be? What should my subjects be on individuals to like me the most on here? What should I say? And I see, and I just listen to individuals that never truly supported Wilder, but now they have a reason to be vocal about an outcome, because that's just the way they felt all the time. You know what I'm saying? They felt this way all the time, but they really couldn't jump out they skin and be sure and confident from the rematch that Fury can beat Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So after this Saturday, you hear these voices that have these platforms for the first time, and they're voicing their own opinion. Some of them extremely biased, you know what I'm saying? Extremely biased. Some of them are racial, prejudice. Some of them are just uneducated, and they just want that support system. And their support system is YouTube, Facebook, IG. People that they'll never meet in life, but these individuals provide them a sense of relief and support and comfort, and they embrace them. You know what I'm saying? So they're willing to say and do anything to have those people continue to come back. So if it's bashing Wilder, which is an easy name to do, then that's what will happen. They will bash him. This is what's disturbing, though. People want to act like boxing was derived from some type of Christian group, or you know, a prerequisite that you had to complete correspondence courses to see how good of a person you really are in life. Like, do you have morals and principles? Is your character solid? Are you smart? People tend to believe that in some way, shape, or form, when they're selecting these fighters to support, that is the criteria behind it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm speaking, people are upset that say you should give Tyson Fury his props, right? Deontay Wilder was classless and not shaking his hand. So check this out. Just moonwalk this bitch back and see what type of thrill you get, right? First, he couldn't box. He only had a right hand. He wasn't shit. He don't listen. None of that. You know, all of that, rather. That's what they were saying. So when Tyson Fury defeated him, and it don't matter if he on ESPN, they still have to make a choice. And before, and you know, not even beforehand, Tyson Fury defeat everybody else. He didn't get put on the magazine. When he fought Sefer Seferi, Francisco Pianetta, Tom Schwartz, Otto Walling, he didn't get put on the magazine. He didn't get put on the magazine until he fought Wilder in the rematch. Then he was abided credit for doing something that was spectacular. Also remembering that people never gave, you know, Deontay Wilder credit for being anything special in the sport. So they took something that was supposed to be a Cuba Zirconian, right? And they, you know, accolade of a fighter. And when Tyson Fury defeated Wilder, they turned that shit into a VS1 diamond. You know, they turned it into authenticated diamond. This is clear as it get. He did something special. He beat Deontay Wilder. Oh my God. Let's reward him for it. You know what I'm saying? Let's reward him for it. Let's reward him for doing that. In the meanwhile, you have individuals on here. I'm talking about my people, right? Blacks. Some of them, but a lot of them. Individuals that have platforms that really need this YouTube shit. They really need it every day of their life. They need this shit. It's a part of their income. They need it. Like I tell you again, that's not something I have to worry about when I wake up or go to sleep. But people listen to your words. When you want to accuse the black fans or the black supporters who were supporting Wilder, and you're making up all these names, you're calling us a militia, fangirls. I even heard coalition. I've heard radicals. These are black people, once again, directing this energy toward other black people who will support a black fighter. This is once again black media criticizing black supporters of a black fighter. They're not talking about any white fans or brown fans. They're talking strictly about the Black Wilder fans who were supporting him. Because somehow, some way, they got to a point in their lives where they say, you know what? These people are brainwashed. We don't see what they see in Wilder. We don't know what it is. Why are they so, why are they so adamant? Why is there so much strength in them supporting this guy? And I don't see nothing special about him. You're talking about a guy who was once 42-0, right? He was 42-0, y'all. 42-0 with a bronze medal to his ledger, man. Woo. And you have these media jumping on here after the fight with Fury, and you're talking about classless? When I hear grown people say some of the dumbest shit sometimes, it just lets me know that in real life, if we stayed next to one another in the same proximity, enough to the point to converse with one another in dialogue and just have a general conversation, I wouldn't fuck with you. Real talk, I wouldn't fuck. I gotta fuck with people that's gonna tell me some shit and be genuine about it. Not motherfuckers that stop talking to you because you support a certain fighter. Like motherfuckers they stop talking to you because you support a fighter. Look, I never broke bread with Deontay and his team. I never even broke bread with Tay Jones, to be honest. I never broke bread with his team or the fighter. But I support Bomb Squad. And, being that I did take up a little psychology in college, some of these people act like they are sane individuals whenever they choose to be, but yet some part of their day they check themselves in an asylum, and they get with all the other goofballs and they have conversation, one goofball to another, and they feel great about it. How can you sit up here and project negativity to Deontay Wilder supporters and place us in all these negative groups? You might as well, I call it HamBone media. I see a lot of my people out here slapping their leg and shit and giving you that HamBone, people who know about that HamBone, and they putting on a show, they doing that HamBone. Come on now. Come on, tune in. Let's go. Let's talk about these Deontay Wilder supporters, the coalitions, the cults. Man, come on, bro. How can you group people to a certain fighter in a loss and you say you support boxing? How can you sit up here and vilify a group of individuals and say they're the reason that Deontay Wilder faced his demise against Tyson Fury? The last time I checked, it wasn't no tag team affair when they split the rope Saturday. It was just Fury, the referee, and Wilder. That's all I saw. I've seen Wilder fight several times. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him fight several times. And when I said about the rematch, he didn't look the same. I mean, like, he didn't give me that energy that he had when he fought Dominique Breazeale. I don't care what round it ended. He didn't look the same. He didn't look the same when he fought Luis Ortiz. Twice. Right? He didn't look the same when he fought Tyson Fury in the rematch. And I'm going to go on record as saying in this trilogy, Deontay Wilder did not look the same as he did in those previous fights. Upbeat, high energy, you know what I'm saying? He didn't give me that type of energy that I'm used to seeing. Like, to see him in the first fight basically load up on the right hand and miss a lot, but still had energy to keep going, keep on. And then that power transferred over in the 12th round and was able to knock Fury out, right? How can you tell me that is the same person that fought Saturday and he was tied in the first round? It was something else going on with that. Real talk, it was something else going on. And I just can't single out him putting on muscle mass. I can't do it. Like, you're talking about a person who's been on stage. I did bodybuilding, I did men's physique. And this was in my early 40s. I know about nutrition. I'm well schooled on that shit, man. Been in the game for quite some time. I'm well schooled on that shit. The only way that it can be a degrading factor with Wilder putting on muscle is if he didn't do enough cardio, and then also lifting heavy weights without continuing to do remediated cardio and repetition could slow a fighter down. But in his case, I can't just put the weight gain of muscle on why he was looking so lethargic in the first round. So I look at it, I have this to say, like, when he threw the right hand, period, it just looks slow. When you have power, the power isn't going anywhere. You have the power. It isn't going anywhere. But when he threw that right hand, it just didn't look like it had that sting on it. It looked like it didn't have that venom. You know what I'm saying? How you see them cobras strike? Every time a cobra strike, you always feel like it's gonna do absolute damage. And he didn't have that speed to me. But back to the HamBone media. T Street. I never met T Street. All right. And I really don't have anything bad to say about the brother. Because I'm on here about black media that's talking shit about other black supporters. T Street said radicals. Radicals. How are you grouping Wilder supporters as radicals? How do you feel? Look, find me 10 people on this YouTube shit before this weekend. No, we ain't talking about this weekend. Find me 10 solid YouTubers. Find me 10 solid individuals that you can relate to, that talk this boxing shit, that has been around Wilder and his team like that has a bond that he just embraces, and they're in a circle, and every time you see him, find them. Because for you to say radicals, you have to have a group of people that understands what Wilder's intentions is. You know, what is his message? What is he trying to send to the public? Finding out where his roots are, putting on African dress, you know what I'm saying? African attire. Is it that bad? That fucking bad that just because people support Wilder and they're adamant and you know the bond there, they believe in this US y'all, US heavyweight champion. T Street say radical, Wilder radical fans or supporters, whatever, is the reason for his demise. How can fans or supporters be inclusive to Wilder's demise? That is so hypocritical, man. That's blasphemy. That you would even crack your lips to say that. And my brother, I'm not coming at you to the left or on some personal shit. I'm just listening to your word because I like your channel. You know what I'm saying? I like your channel. You know, your content is solid. But you're a black man like I am. If we're going to sit up here and talk all this shit about Wilder firing Breland and he ain't never did this, you take the one time that Wilder mentioned something that did something to deal with black people. We're not talking about community service because none of y'all don't know about that shit. And even if you did, you wouldn't even recognize it. So we talk about the one black person that people want to jump on the bandwagon and act like they support it, but yet they didn't give a damn about Breland before he got fired from Team Wilder. These are the same hypocrites that was up there saying Wilder should goddamn fire his whole entire team before he had a loss. Once again, I repeat, these will be the same individuals that will say Wilder should fire his whole team. This is why he was undefeated. Fire his whole team. So he fires Mark Breland and keeps JD's, and he's being called a coon and everything, right? But look, check this out. This is outside of what he's doing in the ring. He's giving motherfuckers knockouts. He's giving them devastating finishes. He's got them talking, doing bomb squad interviews, the same shit you heard me say over and over again, because I've seen it. You know, people drop emails and talk about, man, you're a Wilder fanboy and all this other shit. Listen, bro, I'm in my 50s, right? Ask any nigga that ever know me. Ask any nigga that ever saw me in a fight. Ask anybody. Most of the time, I'm by myself. I roll solo, bro. I ain't never dick ride another man in my life. I've never been Google-eyed, but yet I've been appreciative because I was able to experience some things while I was living, especially seeing Wilder reign as heavyweight champion. I was blessed to see that. But I've never been around a group of guys on a consistent basis. It's not that I'm standoffish and everything. That's just how I've been my whole life. That's just something I feel good at doing. I'm not unapproachable. Anyway, it ain't about me. But back to T Street clarifying radicals who support Wilder had anything to do with his influence or the loss. My brother, I just asked you to examine your own words. Like, come on, man, you have to do a self-assessment on what you're saying. When you say radicals to Wilder, people automatically look at the entire black fan base that was supporting him. This is why he was undefeated. So I ask you this, bro. Does Dillian White, I never seen you do a video on Dillian White when he took his second loss. Stopped. Brutal. Dillian White was stopped by Joshua, and he was knocked the fuck out by Povetkin. I didn't hear anything about radicalism. That's a very, very harsh word when you group people and put them in a form of a group that is known to be negative, known to be associated or affiliated with certain influences. That's not acceptable. Radicalism in boxing, don't you think boxing has enough to worry about with all the corruption that has saturated the sport for decades? Now you want to say the black fight fans are Wilder? You ain't talking about no Mexicans. You're not talking about any white fans or whoever it may be. You're not talking about any foreign group except the black fans who support Wilder, bro. That is preposterous that you even put that on a thumbnail. Everybody who was looking for Wilder to lose his belt in the rematch, they got it, they still wasn't happy. Now coming full circle, there's another build-up. There's media platforms like myself and many others that was constantly speaking and talking about Wilder's comeback and being the high percentage that we gave him to go ahead and defeat Fury, all that. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do as media. I truly believe Wilder had a huge chance of going in there and defeating. And a lot of these people who so-called don't support Wilder, they're not Fury fans. They just don't like Wilder. So if they have a group of people that surround them to listen that feel the same way they do, they're going to feel comfort in that. They're going to say, yeah, I like it. These people, they feel the same way I do. They don't like Wilder too. So great. It's not like they fuck with Fury. But let me ask you this. Have you seen another boxer, though, undefeated, giving you the knockouts? A black fighter, U.S. fighter, and has so many of his own people just vilified him, like crucified him. It's just not something I can accept as being a prior service member. Did 20 years on the green slab, dog, lacing up boots all the time, all over the fucking world. Had to make conscious command decisions. I'm looking at these individuals as grown adults. In some way, shape, or form, they made it up to this point in their lives, and they're considered adults. Age appropriation, that's what I'm providing you when I'm speaking on this topic. I'm providing you that respect. But how can you support a drug cheat? How can you sit up here and exemplify Deontay walking out of the ring and not shaking Fury's hand when the man is saying cunt, pussy, dosser, shithouse, everything that I know what it is. They get a pass once again. Outside of therapeutic exemption over across the pond, you got clueless US fans that'll sit up here and latch on to that shit because they love it. Some of y'all really adore that shit. If you can just go over there periodically and be a Brit and work on your accent, you will love it just enough until you slip up and somebody say, what happened to the accent you had? You're not really from here, are you? No, but I just love y'all. I just love who you are. The man has cheated the sport. The man could have put Wilder in a chair. The man could have very well ended his life. The man is a bona fide known cheater, and you have black media, some of y'all, HamBone media, up here criticizing black supporters for supporting the black fighter. That is fucking HamBone media. Y'all motherfuckers are tap dancing and goddamn got your hand working. Come on now. Come on now. Gather around. Come on. Gather around. Yeah. HamBone. Let me get this HamBone going. Y'all gonna like what I gotta say. I remember when people was calling Wilder classless when he was undefeated. The man never popped for a single drug. And I don't know if y'all was paying attention, but I think it's one of the most classic lines leading up to this fight that Deontay Wilder said, I'm a nun in this sport. Compared to Tyson Fury, compared to you, I'm a nun. For a man who's been a crackhead, in Christian Hammer fight, he was pending a positive drug test. They allowed him to fight Klitschko. He won, got off the belts, didn't defend none of them, went away from the sport, gained all this weight, came back to the sport, stepped on the necks and the fragmented sanity of the mental illness individuals, the people who suffer from mental illness. He stepped on their necks. He put his hand over their carotid artery. And he sat his fat ass there and used mental illness for his own benefit when he returned from the sport, returned to the sport so people can feel sorry for him. And then all these huge black platforms, they gathered around and they say, oh, this is great. This is good for viewership. So let's go with it. They allowed Tyson Fury to come back and use mental illness. All along, they're not even praising Deontay Wilder for allowing Tyson Fury to get a shot. We're talking about a guy who fought cans. Sefer Seferi and Francisco Pianetta when he returned. He gave him opportunity. Wilder had the belt. Wilder had the belt. People don't say shit about that. It's radicalisms. It's cults. It's fanboys. Coalitions. I've never heard such foolishness. When it came to one man, y'all want to separate him from Muhammad Ali so much, but goddamn it, look at the influence that you all continue to talk about this man. Jesus. Like, this man couldn't do shit right. I'm surprised it took Wilder this long to change up his stance on providing that etiquette to the media. I'm surprised it took this long for him not to fuck with majority of the media that's out here. Come on, man. I know a lot of y'all that's criticizing Wilder, and you saw him in person, you'll be the same one. Hey, Wilder. Oh, God, I get to see you in person. It's such a pleasure. How are you doing? You know, they voice lighten up. How you doing, champ? It's such a pleasure seeing you. You are the best. You are the heaviest hitter. I love you, champ. And then they ask us, look, they think they're softening them up. You know what I'm saying? You know how you inject that broth into them turkeys for Thanksgiving? They think they putting all the seasoning in there, and then they ask that one question, right? Champ, do you mind if I get a picture? Champ, please, just one picture. I just need a picture, champ. And they get the picture, right? Boom, here, take a picture. And then that media, champ, do you have one more minute? Do you have time for an interview? That used to be Deontay Wilder before this trilogy. Him not fucking with the media had nothing to do with him losing. Let's just stop it. It had nothing to do with it. But the HamBone media had a lot to do with basically blanketing his name and trying to tarnish his legacy in the sport, as if he didn't do shit in the sport. Y'all rather support a guy who went against the grain, and you consider yourself hardcore boxing fans who will sit up here and say, I wish Jerry McLean the best. Oh my God, Adonis Stevenson, he went down. I wish him nothing but the best. All these boxers that has dementia, you know what I'm saying? Pugilistica. All these fighters who slur in their speech, and these people up here say, oh my God, I support them. They're warriors. Baranchik against Cepeda, oh my God, one of the best matches of the year. Oh my God, this is the best. Anthony Joshua, what can we say about Anthony Joshua? A person who seeked out a retired fighter and still was on the canvas. A person who had a last minute replacement come in there and box his ears off and made him quit. An individual who was just beat by a cruiserweight. Yeah, we're gonna say cruiserweight because y'all all well and good to sit up here and devalue fighters who fight individuals that came from lower weight classes. Y'all quick to say, oh man, that's a featherweight. Man, that's a junior lightweight. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay. Joshua, all big and bulky, lost to a freaking cruiserweight, right? But when Deontay rise off the canvas, not to mention that he dropped Fury a couple of times in the first, he was dropped in the second. They both dropped each other in the trilogy, y'all. Fury just dropped him last. He was the last man standing. He knocked Wilder out. Up to that point, they both had the same amount of KOs in this trilogy. I'm gonna be honest, man. It's just absolutely fucked up to believe that you have some channels up here that are considered to be large platforms. That's why I don't put too much emphasis into, you know, the channels that's out here with all these subscribers, but yet every time they're live, they only have like 300, 400 individuals, but yet they have 50 plus K, 100K subscribers on there. I salute the ones who have the genuine supporters. I salute the ones who have individuals who tune into them faithfully and loyal. You know, they have that loyalty to them. I salute them for that. But what I cannot accept is when you single out a fighter in the heaviest division in boxing, something that we're used to seeing, And we forget about the hiatus and the depression that we went through when we didn't have a U.S. champion. I think as a whole, when it comes to the U.S., we may be spoiled in a sense, because we have a lot of fighters that became world champions and did what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of U.S. fighters that's in the history books. I think at this point in time, even with social media, today's boxing fans, to an extent, in a large proportion, are uneducated about the history of the sport. If they was educated, they would be taking a breath and understanding that it was very important for Deontay Wilder to have maximum support. It was very important. It was very important for him to have maximum support from the U.S. boxing fans, because we just don't know when the next fighter is going to be on deck. It doesn't matter how many U.S. heavyweights that we have fighting their way up the ladder right now. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being able to do what he was able to accomplish. We really don't know when that time is going to come. It's very commendable how long he was able to reign as champion. Very commendable that he was able to successfully defend his title 10 times. And he held the coveted WBC world title. Outside of all the buffoonery that's been going on with the sanctioning body, he held the green belt. People always want to throw Klitschko's name into it. Which one held the WBC belt again? Which one? Because they look, you know it's bad when they will go back and throw Klitschko's into the sport of boxing very, very quickly. But the Klitschko's wasn't the U.S. Like we was dreaming about having a U.S. contender, a heavyweight champion, when the Klitschko brothers was on deck. We was dreaming for that hard hitting, that warrior. We was salivating over that shit. We say, oh man, I can't wait. But for y'all to be so petty, to now be talking about class, y'all niggas are classless. Y'all motherfuckers are classless. You want to talk about a handshake when you have individuals that's calling somebody out their name, talking about their family, disrespecting his own family by being an asshole, period, being a drug cheat. He's going out here making a living, but you're disrespecting your family by being strung out on drugs, being a dope fiend. You want to talk about classless. Y'all want to talk about classless for a handshake when you have a dope fiend who disrespected and misrepresented his family and his kids. Where was his family at when he was in a dark place with powder on his nose and he was fucked up, looking like somebody off Jurassic Park? Where was all these individuals somehow? You know what, Tyson Fury? He's classless. For him to place his family in that type of situation is unbelievable. Because he just won the unified titles. Why would he just dip out like that? Not to mention his other family member that was a boxer. Didn't he pop dirty too? We're talking about individuals that pop dirty. What am I missing? I don't need to put on a suit and get behind a podium and act like I need an opening choir, you know, to break open a song for me. I don't need any of that. I'm talking to grown, educated individuals. I'm speaking to individuals who say they're hardcore boxing fans, but they're complaining about a fighter who was undefeated that he couldn't box. Him getting on the radio saying, you know, the bomb squad want to catch a body. All this other shit that they don't know nothing about. A lot of these cats never really even fuck with Wilder or seen him in person to know what type of person he is, right? But yet, everything come to a revelation when he loses his title. Then on top of that, this trilogy, just because he walks out of the ring. The last time I checked, cowards, Joshua didn't stay in the ring when Alexander Usyk beat his ass. I didn't hear people getting on here talking about, oh, Joshua's radical fans is what encouraged his demise. That's what it was. That's why Joshua continued to lose on the big stage. But yet people want to credit him with pretty much losing in big fights, as if that is a pass. That's a waiver. He just lost to the big fights. He still had many years ahead of him in the sport. But Deontay Wilder leave the ring after a tough, grinding, brutal heavyweight fight, and the man doesn't shake the cheater's hand. And you have these individuals who have families who saying they're raising their kids to be the best ever, and they want them to grow up and be somebody special and great in life. They're getting on here behind living a double life and talking different language and have a different mentality than they're even expressing to their family and their children. They live in a double life. I've talked about this several times on my live, how some of you motherfuckers are raising your kids to be these outstanding, stand-up, life goals, achieving kids, to be successful. But yet, you out here criticizing an individual that pretty much accomplished the same shit that you are encouraging your kids to do. Be strong, be confident, be leaders. If a man was driving trucks and working 3 jobs, and he decided to make a conscious decision, an ethical decision, the man that decided to say, I need to make more revenue, I need to do something more because my daughter needs me. And as a grown fucking man, the same black HamBone media that be criticizing Crawford did the same thing for Wilder. He started boxing. His daughter has a disability. But yet when I hear classless, all because you didn't reach out and shake the hand. You know how many people I can name that didn't shake the hand of their opponent? Said, fuck you. I don't like you. Fuck you. Man, y'all are some despicable individuals, man. Y'all are despicable. Real talk. Y'all are despicable human beings, for real. Y'all sit up here and praise and glorify Tyson Fury. I remember being at the press conference in LA. And Deontay Wilder wasn't talking to the press. Malik Scott did. So instead of talking to a team member, I looked over, and I still have that picture in my catalog, my mental catalog of the media that would see Deontay Wilder in the MGM Grand, or they probably saw him and they was like, oh God, bomb squad. But these mothers ran over to Tyson Fury, and you saw all these phones in a bidding war to get a question out against Fury. And for those of you that even follow my live, it don't matter the numbers, because pretty much I do this for me and my audience. That's it. I looked at it and I went over there and I interviewed Malik Scott. But it was you know, if you're not experiencing the media game, that shit would have made you think like, damn, wow, they really fucking with Fury. No, they want to get content on Fury to talk about something that didn't happen with Deontay Wilder. So since he wore headphones, let me go over here and talk to Fury, and then, you know, put more media out about what Fury's doing. When in fact, they should be, when they had the opportunity, they should have been doing the same thing with Wilder. Put as much media as you possibly can, media that basically is healthy to his boxing career and elevates him, place a halo over the U.S. champion, so he can understand and his fans appreciate him. That's all these people over there with Fury. But not until, you know, all that shit went away. I pulled up on Sugar Hill, and I just wanted him to clarify what Tyson Fury said. How's Malik Scott supposed to teach you something you wasn't able to do? When, you know, we're talking about Sugar Hill, to be honest, he's riding the coattails off a relative. Of course, he's going to get recognition for Tyson Fury in this trilogy. But come on, man. We all know he's riding the man's coattail, dog. So, okay, going forward, I pulled up on him on the street by myself, no crowd, boom. And I rolled up on Tyson Fury in Starbucks. And I just wanted to ask him some simple questions, even though his team was a little bit, you know, rambunctious. Classless for not shaking the man's hand. It's many words, you know. I'm just trying to keep it, even though I put some dirt on this motherfucker. I'm just trying to not have it as, you know, I'm trying to hold off on the vulgarity of obscenities or anything that I can speak to that nature, and listen to this HamBone media of black voices that look, they feel invigorated because they was right about Wilder all along. And then they go on to say his fans and his supporters hold a huge weight of responsibility for his downfall. Nigga, are you stupid? How ignorant do an individual have to be? Like, man, I gotta say, some of y'all got family, man. Some of y'all got motherfucking family. And you on here making an absolute fool of yourself, encouraging your listeners to believe that you're right in what you're saying when it comes down to it. You want your audience to believe that Wilder not shaking a hand after everything he's been through, after all the backstabbing and criticism and derogatory shit said about him, when the man haven't even popped positive, the man hasn't been out here drunk, he ain't been running through intersections, you know, in the sports cars that he has, doing crazy shit. He ain't been caught up in no motherfucking adultery scandals of infidelity. He hasn't really been seen out in the club like that in a peculiar manner. You know what I'm saying? A questionable manner. He hasn't been out there like that. And y'all saying just because a person that he took it personal and felt wholeheartedly, like a lot of us, that Tyson Fury cheated in the rematch, now that he gets knocked out, he goes out on his shield, as warriors have done in tribes, combat sports. There have been individuals knocked out that never quit, never gave up, never surrendered. And you sit up here and say you're a hardcore boxing fans, but yet you criticizing Wilder for getting knocked out, but you praise individuals in the same weight class for the exact same thing. Anthony Joshua get mad praise. Anthony Joshua get mad praise for his shit. He's a mediocre C-level fighter. His name and the promoter he's with keeps him relevant, so to speak, regardless of him being a unified champion. It don't fucking matter. He's overrated. You see Dillian White name come back in the picture. I heard somebody put Deontay Wilder behind Dillian White. They put Deontay Wilder behind Dillian White as far as heavyweights, just because he got stopped. And that just goes to show me why I love supporting other combat sports such as mixed martial arts, you know, BJJ and all that, because it proves to me that I need to learn other collective sports to totally understand what combat is all about. That's what I need to do. I need to study. I need to educate myself. So, and see the different fan bases and everything to know how combat fans think, how the combat practitioners and pugilists think, you know, in different sports, how individuals support them. And I will have to say, when it comes to boxing, they have an audience. You know what I'm saying? They have an audience. They don't really have loyal fans. Because one minute you're on top and the next, if you have a bad performance, people kicking you to the curb and they're talking shit about you. But yet, when they finally see you in person, they give you that, oh my God, there he goes. There she goes. Oh my God, I never thought I'd have this day. Can I get an interview, please? Who are you? And you try to say your real name. You don't even say your channel name. I'm Johnny Walker. Nice to meet you. Okay, Johnny, what do you want? And then Johnny up here posts a video on his channel name, and come to find out, they come out after the video circulates a little bit. They come out and find out that that person been talking shit about that particular fighter. Let me just ask you this question, T Street. Do you truly believe radicalism had anything to do with Wilder losing for a second time? Do you believe he hasn't accomplished anything in his career? I salute and respect what you do on your channel, for real. Like a lot. Like I know a lot of people talking about the LDC presence that was in Vegas. What you should be doing is you know, clapping it up that those individuals was able to go behind the scenes. You know why I'm saying that? You know why I'm gonna say that? Because as long as blue blood has been around this media game, I've never seen him be able to have access and provide us behind the scenes media coverage like what we seen this past weekend. He was given behind the scenes. Now, if you ever watch Blue Blood Sports TV, he has a lot of followers, and he was able to give us exclusive behind the scenes shit. And shout out to Champ Side too, he was on deck. You know, I'm not grouping him with the LDBC. I'm just saying BFTB was there, Drew Titan was there. I heard Trick Boxing was there. It was a lot of dudes that was able to show up after the media credentials was declined. And from what my understanding, the word was brought to the attention of Deontay Wilder, and he made it happen. I salute them cats because I know how I feel to get it. Look, I know how I feel to be there and get it. Go to those fights and not have media credentials and still fishing for interviews. Go there with media credentials. So I was happy in the magnitude of this fight to see a group of individuals such as the LDBC get the cosign approval, not just on YouTube, but yet they was live and live in color this past weekend. One of the best heavyweights to ever lace up a pair of gloves, Deontay Wilder. Unfortunate for him, in this lifetime, he won't get the respect. He won't get the respect. Because people be quick to say Ali, Ali, Ali. You know, Ali was criticized too. Ali had a lot of areas about him that he stood up for what he believed in. And that goes the same way for Deontay Wilder. He stood in what he believed in. You know what I'm saying? But this HamBone media shit, I could really give a fuck what y'all say about me and my viewership. I thank God every day. I've been retired since I was 37 years old. And the only person I thank for that is God. Thank you. I appreciate you. I just don't get up every day, happen to make videos on YouTube. I would rather go out here and cover the sport, like cover the sport as a whole and post videos of content from covering the sport rather than being on YouTube and making content. Real talk. Because I get to familiarize myself with these fighters that's on the amateur level all the way to professional. I get to educate myself with the teams, I get to get an understanding of what I'm looking at. I get to get on here, and when people start talking about this commission and all this other bullshit, and I'm up here saying, well, the commission is not what you think they are. No matter what you say, oh, the commission looked at the gloves before Wilder Fury stepped in the ring. Not all the time. Not all the time. But JD's was there. Yeah, JD's might have been there, but you don't know what else could have happened in between time. We seen it. Maestre, we seen him against Fox. His gloves was fucked up, and the commission signed off on it. And this was a televised fight. If you feel some type of way about World Combat Sports little channel, it's absolutely fine with me. But I'm just voicing my opinion like many others. My people, you just can't wait to Black History Month to act like you want to join together in unity. This is a sport where you need to support the ones that's going in there making the sacrifice. And if they are champions, if they have did everything that's required of them to go up there and be champions, bro. What more are we looking for? What do y'all, what's next? Why do black people always want to seek religion and shit in negative times, but yet you want to take the head off of your own fucking people? You want to act like, oh, God is my savior. I look for God. Yeah, God is where it's at. But y'all up here vilifying Deontay for not shaking the hand of a cheater. So you telling me I don't have the right to feel some type of way? I don't have the fucking right to feel some type of way. If I feel that I was cheated, which could have eventually placed me in a wheelchair, I don't have, look, it's not my right to feel some type of way about that. I don't give a fuck if we just finished combat or not, especially if I got KO'd. If I lost, fuck you. It was fuck you before the fight, and it's fuck you now after the fight. So therefore, what do you sit up here saying classless for? How many of you all don't shake a dude's hand that you don't know? Or somebody who says some shit on YouTube, y'all meet up, y'all talk it out, y'all never dap each other up, and you walk the fuck away. Is it squashed? Is it squared off? Is it level? Are we good? Or you gonna get on here and say, man, you know what? I ran into another social media personality. You know, I thought that brother was solid, man. I thought he was everything. I thought maturity, you know, the content he was putting, I thought that was a reflection of who he was. And he walked away, he didn't even shake my hand. He ain't shit. That's sort of what I see with this Wilder shit. Y'all motherfuckers are pussy. Y'all say y'all cover the sport of boxing, but yet you complaining about a dude that's a renowned cheater and someone who never got popped for drugs, don't have a criminal record, out there doing what he's supposed to do, living a lifestyle with his girl. Every time you see him in the fight, she with him, doing everything he's supposed to do, living a life, earning that money, giving the fans what they want, bomb squad, all that shit. And y'all say the man is motherfucking classless. Look, I turn on the TV and I hear certain individuals talking about why he didn't shake Tyson Fury's hand. Not the fact that Tyson Fury was saying shithouse, cunt, pussy. So if you have some UK voices, it's okay for them to say, oh, pussy, cunt. See, over here in the US, we can say bitch, and people's like overlooking. Oh, okay, they say bitch ass nigga, bitch. But if Wilder was to say, man, he's a fucking cunt, he's a pussy, and while a female reporter or females are surrounding in the proximity, they would have said, oh my God. Oh my God, I just can't wait to get back to the office. Oh my God. Did you hear what he said? He said pussy and cunt. in the same sentence around in the presence of wholesome, genuine ladies. Women who are out here earning a living. He called Tyson Fury a cunt and a pussy. Oh, deplorable. How could he? Oh my God, they should ban him. Right this minute. Ban him, for God's sake. He doesn't deserve to lace up gloves anymore. And that's pussy, y'all. Real talk. That shit's pussy for real. That shit is soft. All y'all trying to group black people together because they support a black fighter is absolutely distasteful, despicable. Any other damn derogatory terms that I choose not to mention at this time, but I can come up with, I mean, that's what y'all are. Because you're not projecting any of that negative energy toward any other group, any other race besides your own. When you have a white group out here and they're having a protest and you know what their history is about. Let's just say it's the KKK or whatever. Be quiet as kept. They'll be quiet as kept. But let a group of blacks get together for anything. Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? There's no need for that. They're really setting a bad example out here. Why are they out here forming a group? They're radicals. My God, they're radicals. Who allowed this to happen? And then for a moment, right? I'm just going to put it out there that, you know, a lot of people don't want to say the LDBC name, so they was called them radicals. Real talk. They will basically cloud these brothers who've been out here for a long time, longer than I have on this media shit. They will group them with a group such as a militia, radicals, anything with negative intent when it comes to talking about the sport of boxing. Yes, sir. They just won't say their name because in their mind, they'll sit up here and say, oh, we don't want to give them no shine. We don't want to give them no clout. And a lot of people blast Wilder for basically going back to who he was fucking with since day one, 78 Sports TV and Blue and all those cats being on their channels leading up to this promo. That's what they truly didn't like. They didn't like that shit. The same motherfuckers are wondering why Wilder ain't said nothing, right? But yet when he come back and talk to 78 Sports, they don't want to give a shout out to 78 for getting the drop. For Wilder actually reaching back out to who he's known for quite some time. There's nothing wrong with messing with day one dudes if you trust them like that. I'm worse. Like, I get it. I get it, bro. Like, I get where he's coming from. I told Tay Jones forever and a day, I said, man, these boxers don't owe us shit as media. You can't get butthurt because you're not in the top 5 media of a boxer, of a fighter rather, right? For him to call you up to the suite. You can't be fucking mad, dog. I mean, come on. You pussy if you get mad because a fighter that you never... Look, if I ain't broke bread with a fighter, if I don't know his wife's name or his girl's name, if I don't even know his middle name, if we never sat down and had drinks and broke bread and shit like that, how close are we? How can I be mad? I can't be mad. And I think a lot of this stems from people being mad with the LDBC, and the LDBC was heavy on deck. I salute media extending outside of this YouTube circus out into the to the front lines of such a big fight, dog. Especially, you know, look, I'm gonna put it out there once again. When you got Ellie, ES News, shout out to Ellie, nothing on him, but it's more than one media segue out here. It just don't have to be him. I have nothing against it, but you seen Blue out there doing the same thing Ellie was doing behind the scenes. What's wrong with it? What's fucking wrong with it, dog? What's fucking wrong with it? Some of the shit that I got that was exclusive. I had to recon this shit. I ain't never really been given that. Oh yeah, come back here. I'll come back here. Come back there. I'm talking about on the big fights. I had to recon that shit. The only time I was able to do it was on Top Rank. That's when I had help that time. And salute to Lee for that. I don't have no problem putting on. Salute for Lee that. I was able to cover Teofimo Lopez. And it was one of the best times I've ever had as boxing media to be able to cover them. But you know, this is straight up Team Wilder shit right here, bro. It's truly fucked up, really. The mindsets of some of these individuals is absolutely immature, man. These, like I said before, I got to keep on mentioning, these are the same people that turn to their family and say, I want you to be something great in life. Show me what you have. You know, show me, what is it coming from your heart? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Never quit at anything, but yet they're on here social media. It might be providing a source of income for their daily living, right? And they're up here dogging out a fighter for doing exactly the achievements that they're injecting into their own family. They're raising up their seeds with this motivational speak, but yet they out here criticizing their own kind for supporting a man who did just that. How fucked up are you? How fucked up of an individual are you? How fucked up are you, dog? Every one of you that's out here criticizing the black media that was saying Wilder's gonna be Fury, Wilder's gonna be Fury. How fucked up are you being black yourself, acting as if we did something wrong, like we did something that was considered evil. You know what I'm saying? Like we was out here creating the onus in boxing. How the fuck is it true? Like, what the fuck are you saying, dog? You're criticizing your own people as if only black fans supported Wilder. The man get knocked out. He go out as a warrior should, just like Gotti Ward. You praise them motherfuckers getting knocked down all the time. You praise Diego Corrales for getting off the canvas all the time. You praise Tito Trinidad for getting off the canvas. You praise Lennox Lewis, who was stopped by Rothman and came back and got his titles back. You praise so many of these big names that you never had the opportunity to see fight in person. You praise them. But the ones in your era that you have this visual connection to, they are in your era. It convinces me you really don't understand what boxing is about, because, you know, everybody have their own way of raising their fighter up in the sport. But I forgot who said it, but they say, yeah, it's cool. I just recently heard Javante say it, I think. I don't think he's the first one to say it. Maybe Floyd might have said it, I'm not sure. But they say it's all good. You know, when you get ready for a fight, all the fans are around. But it's a lonely sport, because you got to train, ain't nobody around. Ain't nobody around to see you go through that dog work, that blood, sweat, and tears. Nobody's around. It's lonely. Then all the fans show up when it's time to party, goddammit. That's when people show up and say, oh my God, there he goes. The fighter walks in with their entourage and shit, but no one knows what has transpired before that. They don't know about if you had injuries. You know what I'm saying? Because I never even mentioned the injury aspect of Deontay Wilder losing. You see the x-ray that's out there? He broke his hand. Don't nobody want to hear about it, because they want to sit up here and act like they learned only 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 words when they was growing up in elementary to middle school. I didn't go to middle school. I went to elementary to high school, then college. But if you say, shit, he had a broken hand, but he still fought on to the end, he gets no credit for that shit, because he's classless. because he didn't shake a drug cheat's hand. He's classless. The same person who was getting media credentials denied from these media segues on YouTube that supported Wilder. How coward ass, pussy ass shit is that? You can sit up here and talk about shit house, and you can stand up and you can point your finger and sound like Captain motherfucking Crunch, a pirate and shit. All this. Shut the fuck up, dog, because you are the worst when it comes to damn etiquette. You have no professional etiquette. You walk around, you don't have a shirt on, and we already know what your body composition and aesthetics look like in person. We already know. It's beyond disappointing because you mentioned the hand being broke. People, oh, that ain't shit. He broke his hand. Oh, well, God, whatever. He still lost. He was knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Not the fact that he sucked that shit up, kept fighting, earned 2 knockdowns of his own, all the way to the final moment, all the way to the closer, all the way. You know, he tried to he tried to take it all the way to the damn finish line. He tried to close it out because when you got power, all he needs is that second, that window, for him to possibly land that punch again. But it was Fury's night, man. Like, look, Fury got the job done. Fury is what a lot of people was hoping was able to take over the heavyweight division in this era. Real talk. Real talk. All the underhanded cheating shit that Fury's done, you're just proving that over here in the US we're extremely gullible to overlooking certain individuals that go off their Wall Street, their value in life, their value as a celebrity and all that. We wouldn't overlook the shit. You prove it. You prove it. You prove that you'll sit up here and reject Wilder, but you approve everything that Fury's doing when it's not even something that you would teach your own fucking family. So what type of coward are you? What type of coward are you? You would sit up here and accept the shit that Fury has done in his sport and misrepresenting his family in the worst way, but yet you'll tell your kids and you'll disown them and you'll give them whoopings and you'll put them on punishment for doing shit that you absolutely condoning on your double life over here when your kids are at school or away or whatever they're doing, downstairs, upstairs, or whatever the case. That's called being an absolute coward. That's being a coward. The man started boxing because of his child, right? But yet you pick the smallest minute situations to bring this man and dump him on his head. And you're black too. You're black, nigga. You black. What's up with all this? Y'all waiting, all this shit is October. How many months we got? We got 2 more months? Okay, great. February is coming around the corner. My God, I just can't wait. I can't wait for February so we can all unite as one. Until then, oh, they're radicals. You know what I'm saying? They're radicals. They're cults. They're coalitions. All black people who supported Wilder. They're demons. Luciferian followers. Not genuine, loyal boxing supporters. Not individuals that believed in Wilder. We believe he can go in there and defeat Tyson Fury this past weekend. I believed it. I believed it. I won't digress on anything that I mentioned previous. That's not in me. Let's sit up here and recant what I truly felt coming from my heart, that he can go in there and beat Tyson Fury. Now, for anyone, and especially those who've already sent me those nice emails, right? You have to look at yourself also and understand that none of us are perfect. We was born with imperfections. So when you come up here trying to seize the moment and act like you're motherfucking perfect. Even when it comes to this boxing shit, predictions, and everything you do in life, you have to hold yourself accountable too. I made a prediction. I thought he was going to knock him out in 5 rounds, and I knew he was in trouble before the first round was over with. When I mean in trouble, I felt that his cardio, something was going on with his cardio, man. And I said, oh, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be tough. But I still ponder this question, though. And this might make a lot of people upset. How does an individual like Tyson Fury, a human hippo, how does Tyson Fury get stronger as the rounds go along? How does that happen? Is it natural? Is it some type of performance-enhancing drugs? Yeah, I said it. Has anybody heard about an A and B sample? Has anybody heard about an A and B sample for this fight? How does someone that's shaped like Fury get stronger as the fight goes on? And he's weighing that much weight. You've asked questions about other fighters, just like you did Jarrell Miller. Don't think I don't go out here and do my research and look at other people's shit. You saying the same shit about Jarrell Miller. It's just so happened he is a drug cheat, just like Tyson Fury. But you know who isn't? Deontay Wilder. So Deontay might have been showing natural signs of going in and out of training camp. Not to mention Malik Scott being placed in the position going in there against Sugar Hill and Tyson Fury, a person who has been 2-time heavyweight champ. His task is to go in there and seize the motherfucking moment for the first time as the head trainer. You think that man wasn't nervous? It's different from him walking in the entourage and showing up to a fight and somebody else is going to have those duties. Now he is the big dog. You think he didn't have any type of apprehension? Yes. As a man, as a human being, of course you take a deep breath. You don't think Malik was thinking about some shit when he was on the ring walk? He was running all that shit through his head on what the game plan was, what he should do, what he shouldn't do, what he should do, what he shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? He was running all that shit through his thought process. It's normal, man. It's normal to be nervous. People want to put the culpability on Malik Scott. But Wilder was stopped in the 7th round. The towel came in the rematch. He went 4 more rounds in the trilogy. And he still didn't look as healthy as I've seen him in previous fights. But the question remains, if anybody can drop this in the chat. How does somebody who's built like Tyson Fury get stronger as the fight goes on? Once again, I reiterate, how does a person who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks, how is Tyson Fury looking this strong at this point in his life and career if he's never been that guy? Don't put it on oh man, he's just growing into himself. He's peeking out right now. How does Tyson Fury have an energy surge in such a tough fight? How does he look stronger and stronger going into the championship round? Somebody drop that in the chat. How is that possible? How? Please explain to me. Any nutritionists? Any physicians? Any toxicologist? Anybody can explain how someone who is built, because you see the picture out there with Tyson Fury, he's in orange swimming trunks. Some of y'all motherfuckers, like I say for Joshua, some of y'all have that picture up there for the wrong reason. Y'all sitting up there saying, oh, look at Tyson Fury. Look how somebody's like this can beat somebody that's shaped like Wilder, who has physique like Deontay Wilder. True. But I can tell you, that's something I already knew. Like, I've been around different combat sports, especially BJJ. You have some BJJ practitioners that look like your average nerd that are fucking killers. You have BJJ practitioners that are built, that are chiseled. You have some BJJ practitioners who look overweight, who are ADCC world champions. I'm telling you, dog, you have all walks of life when it comes to physicality. But when you're saying to apply a hippo, one of the most deadliest animals, but it's considered a fat piece of shit when you look at it. People use hippos when they're insulting people, but hippos are some of the most dangerous animals, y'all. How can you take a fat piece of blob and see that motherfucker float across the damn basin of a river underwater? Not only that, when the motherfucker surface, he can fuck shit up. But that's a hippo. That's a hippo. Humans never once had the speed of an animal, nor are we capable to be that size when you're talking about weight balancing, power to weight ratio. We've never had that analogy equal out when it came to a human being weighing that much and to be able to move and have energy and so forth, like a hippopotamus can. I always tell people, you choose to ignore shit that's obviously in your face, and then when shit start coming to the light, people, oh, fuck it, Wilder lost. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how Fury won. We know Wilder lost, again, but we're talking about how did Fury win. He knocked them out, but we're talking about, was he clean? Was Fury clean? Can we say without a shadow of a doubt, without any compunction, that Tyson Fury, who was gaining energy as the fight went along, after being knocked down twice, wearing, what he was wearing like 280? With all that blubber, he can gain momentum as the fight go along with one of the best heavyweights in the sport, the top tier heavyweight in the sport, who's chiseled, who take care of his body. How can Tyson Fury build momentum and strength and energy as the fight go along? How? Somebody explain that shit to me, please. Anybody that got whipped 3 times should get the picture. Shake his hand and admit. Well, that's how you walk through life. You know what I'm saying? And we're not talking about anybody. You know what I'm saying? If your name is Kenny, it's probably not your real name. But we're not talking about anybody. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about anybody. That's what the real champions do. There's no such thing as real champions when it comes to shaking hands. A real champion is considered one who go in there and contend. You know what I'm saying? Contend. It has nothing to do with morals and principles. See, you proving to me that you're a casual also. You just one of these individuals that want this love early in the week because your fighter that you hated so much lost. So what does shaking hands have to do with anything when over here in America it means absolutely nothing? Period. Shaking hands means, you know, as people been, you know, people who've shaken another person's hand and they was killed by that same person. I mean, am I right or wrong? Shaking hand mean nothing. You can shake somebody's hand that you hate. Come on, bro. Come on. Once again, Pac-Man has a million excuses when he loses. I guess it's not the same. Mitch, I don't know why you sitting up here educating the people. I don't know why you educating the people again. Because, you know, you bringing up Pac-Man, once again, he has a country behind him, right? Deontay Wilder should have a country behind him, but the support system over here is so distorted in the U.S. footprint, so distorted when it comes to boxing, because I don't get that same vibe in MMA. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been around the sport long enough. Mixed martial arts is not the same as boxing. But to mention what you said, you know, they'll say Pacquiao, he's a good guy. Even though he didn't want to take Olympic-style testing, he's a good guy. The man came up with shoulders. I ate my shoulder. My shoulder don't feel good. People say, well, he has a country behind him. And then you turn around, oh, my leg are heavy. But Deontay Wilder says his legs don't feel right for a costume. People overlook it. But Pacquiao, my leg heavy. 1, 2 step. No. I mean, come on, y'all. Come on, man. Good point there, Mitch. Good point, bro. Good point. See, you know, I don't care how many people in my chat. I'm just concerned about the educated ones that's in my live chat. They allow me to learn something. That's all. Shout out to everyone that's on deck and all the haters. I appreciate you in the worst way. WCS, do you believe Fury will be fighting Sefer Seferi for the rest of his career for top contenders? I don't know, man. I don't know. Because it's definitely not Sefer Seferi. D-Ray in the building, on deck. Key Mitch on deck. I'm the belt on deck. Those of you that grew up back then, y'all know what HamBone is, man. I don't want to say the usual. I don't want to say the Coons. I don't want to say the Sambos. I want to say the HamBone media. Motherfuckers get together and start popping themselves. Yeah, get together, Get the tamarines out there, start shaking and shit. Guess what I want to tell y'all today about that Father Wilder? Oh yeah, he was KO'd in 11. Start singing some bullshit. And they be laughing, they be rejoicing. They be sipping on their beer. Radicals, cults, malicious. That's what the supporters are. Let me give you some HamBone. That's what we're gonna do. HamBone, have you heard? Man, come on, bro. I'm just disturbed and making a point that you have a portion of black media that's criticizing black supporters of a black fighter. So what kind of fucked up individual are you? I said what I said. Like I said, it wasn't personal that I mentioned about T Street. It's not personal, bro. But radicals is a little extreme. I think you bloviated that point, exaggerated to the tip. For real, for you to say radicalism was the downfall of Wilder. How can it be the downfall when he was undefeated and motherfuckers didn't fuck with him anyway? Get out of here. The shit that you just said don't make any sense, bro. It don't make any sense to any logical, sane individual that's smart enough to know that his fans wasn't the cause of his downfall. They didn't have shit to do. And not to mention, some of you motherfuckers never even really seen him fight night. Some of y'all never even seen him. Y'all don't know who he with. Y'all don't know who the fuck he with. Y'all ain't seen him when his cousin's on deck. You ain't seen him with Coach Cuz, Willie, Tay, JD's, Malik. Y'all never really seen who he rolls with. Once again, Motherfuckers who's sitting on the outside looking in, don't know how a person truly is in life, and they're sitting up here dogging them out, but yet they turn into their kids and their family and say, hey, I just want to let you all know I love you. I love you. Yes, I do. I have so much confidence. Now, I may be strict at some time. I may require you all to do things by the book. But what I'm trying to get you to understand, this is something that's going to be applicable later on in life as you start to grow as a young adult. Then you go out here into the workforce. I want you to be leaders. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be those who people look to emulate as they also grow in life. That's what I want you to do. All right? I want you to think about your family before you go out here and make impulsive decisions. That's all I'm saying. I want you to be that person. Can y'all do that for me? Yes. Yes, Daddy, we can. Okay. Now go out the room. I got to do a live. You know that fucking Wilder, oh my God. He say he started boxing because of his daughter, but he's classless because he didn't goddamn shake his hand. And I got fools on my live chat talking about he beat him, just shake his hand. For what? It's fucking personal, dog. It's personal. It's personal. Personal doesn't go out the window when it came to someone trying to end your career just because they beat you, just because they had their hand raised. It doesn't go away. The shit doesn't go away, bro. Stormy B man in the building. He said this shit doesn't sit well in my soul. I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. I feel you. You know how you get that feeling like, I just refer to like having a kid. For those of you that had a kid. For me, all I ever wanted was a boy, right? But God gave me 3. Look. My first kid, I had this pit in my stomach. I said, dang, please let it be a boy, let it be a boy. Boom, it was a boy. Then the second one, you had a pit in your stomach. You're like, what could it be? I don't know. You know, you waiting for the weeks to go by. Boom, it's a boy. This fight right here, I did look at it in a way that I was using my imagination. I say, Deontay Wilder I even said online, I say, Deontay Wilder can shake up boxing. I wanted him to be in a position like Fury is now. I wanted him to get his title back and then have one of the biggest undisputed boxing matches ever. I wanted, especially, you know, what he's been through, him being a black man who's worked his say, did everything he was supposed to do the right way in this sport, in this egregious type sport, right? I wanted him to feel that glory. I wanted him to sponge it all up, soak it all in, and be recognized. That's what I want. I wanted him to be recognized for everything I thought he was. One of the best. So of course, when he was leading up to this fight, I was like, 150% I thought Deontay can go in there and stop this man in 5 rounds. But you know what the pit was, what Stormy B was saying in his soul? You know what I felt inside? I felt that the influences or shit that was going to impede him from accomplishing that was going to be outside external entities. I didn't think too much it would be him. I thought it would be something for those individuals that was plotting and planning collectively. That's just me. It's no conspiracy. I said, how is she going to get it? Man, look back at my live. I said this shit for the rematch. I said, man, Deontay is going to have a hard time this fight week because there's going to be so many other variables that he has to deal with. And that's what happened. And I felt the same way, like, leading up to this fight, I felt the same way. I was like, shit. He has more to worry about, the unknown and unseen entities, than his physical composition and being in shape. Because, I mean, the videos look good. The training videos look good, man. But whatever was going on with the cardio and stuff like that, I mean, when he came out sticking the jab, it looked sharp. But I was just waiting for the transition, you know? Anybody who say they didn't have a pit in their stomach, they didn't feel a little woozy, you know, they fucking lying, dog. Because people had money on this fight. I was waiting on him to transfer over to the double hooks to the body. I was looking for that slingshot effect to start coming into play. And it just didn't happen. It has, I mean, I see some people talking about conspiracy theories. Boxing is full of conspiracies. You know what makes a conspiracy? It's those who truly don't know how it all happened to begin with. They don't know the source. They don't know how, they don't know the inception of anything. So they're gonna speak on it as if they have to derive a formula. Deductive reasoning. They have to put all the evidence together and see if it represents a conclusion that fits to the formula that they tried to derive in the first place. A conspiracy is based off what? A lot of speculation. So those who don't know, who on the outside looking in, they will always say, well, it's conspiracy. It's conspiracy. No, some real shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Some real shit happens that if you're not privy to it, then of course you're going to say it's conspiracy. Because you have no idea how it all started, what it all entailed, why is it actually happening? You know what I'm saying? You have to put all that into play. And it's tough. And it's very tough. You have to come up with all these hypotheticals and all this formulas and use deductive reasoning, try to figure all this shit out and try to put all the evidence and see, this is what I believe the conclusion is, but I need to place these pieces together to see if it all match up to come to that point. Yeah, that's why people will sit up here and say it's conspiracies, because they have no fucking clue. They don't have a clue until somebody who actually was there, who knows, they speak on it, and they say, oh shit, okay. Oh, I've been waiting to know how that went down. Oh shit. I always thought, I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but I always wanted to know if that was real or not. Just like the situation that happened with Roy Jones and Fat Joe. People always used to have their own little shit about it until Roy finally came out and he told the story. People always thought it was some bullshit. But anyway, man, let me see. I just saw some comments pop up. Loma actually said the judges were paid after he gave away the first half of the fight. Solid point there, Mitch. Solid point. Solid point. Terrence Bailey on deck. What's good? He said these fighters keep having ref issues at WCS. Something ain't right. My antennas won't come down from this one. Good point, man. If you really hate Wilder because of excuses, you must also hate the shitload other fighters. Pac-Man notoriously had excuses after losing to Loma, had excuses after Elder Tio. Hey, true facts right there, man. You know, I can run down the Rolodex on fighters who had excuses. Not only that, right? But what if Wilder verbally said, well, I didn't feel comfortable with them making changes to the referee and the judges? What if he actually came in this motherfucker and said, you know what, I think the judges was paid off. The same shit Loma did. You feel me? Loma said he think the judges was paid off and nobody, look, they didn't even bat an eye. They didn't even blink Loma said, I think the judges was paid off. They didn't even second guess what he said. They didn't even put too much emphasis in it. That's Vasyl Lomachenko. That's high tech. That's two-time gold standard Olympian. Oh, he can say what he wants. But Wilder, look, majority of communication is non-verbal. That goes for acceptance also. When you're talking about shaking of the hands, that is a non-verbal. You don't have to say anything. You can shake somebody's hand and walk the fuck off. That's a non-verbal communication. Now Wilder, on top of losing, he gets ridiculed for not shaking the current champion, Tyson Fury, aka Mr. Drug Cheat himself. He gets ridiculed for that. For not shaking a hand. Quick to call somebody a bitch, quick to be unprofessional, all of that. And people just love and they just relish in the moment. So my question is, how do you grade your character as a person? Because if you up here co-signing on somebody like Tyson Fury, that means you ain't shit either. That's real talk. They say you are who you hang around, right? That's how they always want to say. They'd be quick to put blacks in that category. And I'm not using the race card. I'm a black man. I can speak on shit I experienced. Real talk. You know, being 6'3", damn near 6'3" at 12 years old, it's a lot of shit I went through. Motherfuckers thinking I'm an adult already. You know what I'm saying? If I put a hoodie on, they really thought I was up to no good. That's just the way it is. When that Trayvon Martin shit went down, I swear to God, when I wanted to go work out and I had a hoodie on and shades, and people ask me all the time, why you have shades? Why? Because in the military, my job was IT. Amongst other things, my eyes are very sensitive to light. And also my eyes are very sensitive to bullshit. But when it come down to it, right? You can't co-sign a motherfucking drug cheat. And a guy who has a checkered past, so to speak. And then get on here and act like you're the best there ever, that you're the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. You can't do that, man. I never heard of Roy Jones throwing the fight first Tarver. No, I was talking about Roy Jones' situation about Fat Joe saying even Roy Jones was forced to lean back, and Roy Jones went in Fat Joe's backyard with his boys and caught Fat Joe goddamn slipping, you know, by himself, and they had a conversation. But you might be talking about something somebody put in the chat, huh? See, I'm on my phone, man. I wouldn't have shook his hand either. Why should D change energy? It was fuck him before the fight, so she fuck him after the fight. Keep the same energy. That would D say. Absolutely, bro. Like, once again, Terrence, you know how many people we run, you know how many people we go through in the military. And you know the shit we experience over there, man. We run against, we are working with people. We can work with people for like 2 years straight and never invite them over to eat for dinner. You know what I'm saying? We can have a working relationship, but there's no way, no how I'm inviting you over for dinner. You go through that lifestyle. You go to foreign countries, you work with people, and some are good, some is bad. But once again, you want a black man to bow down, genuflect, surrender, be a good sport, be the inferior one, be the subordinate, and shake hands with somebody that you don't like and felt that they was trying to take that motherfucker, end your career by cheating. And people just act like, well, he has been accused of cheating in the past. He has been suspended, this, that, and the other. Oh, it don't matter though. He knocked them out. That's not the point. The point is, you want me to commit to a gesture that's saying, hey, I'm shaking your hand, I'm showing you love. He did that already. He did it already. You didn't see it in the first fight? He did it. You didn't see him in the second fight? Real talk. You didn't see the kindness and genuine Wilder showed? He did it already. But after that rematch, he was like, fuck you, man. It's shit that I got up here. I believe you are responsible for, and I don't like it. He has the right. Real talk. He has the right, people. Y'all act like the man don't have the right. He has the right. Personal. And Wilder showed, you know what I'm saying? He showed sportsmanship at the end. He showed kinship. Like, he actually, you know, from the personal shit that went on between Dominique Brazil, he actually shook his hand and after knocking the man clean the fuck out. But Dominique Brazil wasn't accused of trying to end the man's career, cheating, none of that shit. And then when you tell people that Tyson Fury, you know, might be on pass again, how you never really truly see him in a full training camp. But yet he can come in here. He even told me to my face that he was down in Miami party. Now, of course, I can believe it or I don't. But the fact that the way he looks, this man was gaining momentum as the fight went on. How is it that way? There's no way that they can find a cadaver of a hippopotamus and take ligament strands and do a transplant over to Tyson Fury. There's no way it'll take. I'm just going way out on a limb. How can Tyson Fury pick up momentum and energy as the fight go on? You know another fight that they did that they criticized the shit out of? Hey, y'all hardcore. You know another fight that weighed a lot? That had that energy going into the later rounds? Like they wasn't tired? He's a heavyweight. Drop it in the live chat. Y'all smart. Come on, man. Drop it in the live chat. Who is that? Let me see. Let's say my audio low. What about now? What about now? You gotta let me know my audio is straight. Oh, still low? I don't know. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate. I think that's it right there. I should be able to, y'all should be able to hear me now. But Jarrell Miller. They were saying, how can Jarrell Miller pick up momentum and energy as the fight go on? He can't be clean. He can't be clean. We're gonna find out the man is super dirty, dog. He was on 16 type of damn performance enhancing drugs, dog. But I want to say this, man. For whoever believes that I'm talking about them, all you have to do is pull up and we can have a conversation. Because a lot of y'all cats, I don't even have your personal number. You know what I'm saying? Damn, audio's still low. Wow. I'm just gonna leave that out there if it's low. But check this out. I just want to say this, man. There's several fighters in the game. I just don't know when we're gonna ever have a U.S. heavyweight champion. That's a front runner. Appreciate that, Thomas. Appreciate you. I don't know if I'm not sold on. I don't know enough about Jared Anderson to say it just yet. I don't know. I mean, Jared Anderson's been kicking it with the UK dudes and feeling comfortable. I hope that works out for you. When they ask you for a fight, I hope you're there for that fight. When I hope they don't treat you like Dillian White. You know what I'm saying? You pick and choose. I just don't like fighters who believe they should sit up here and look a certain way to U.S. fans just because they're trying to prove loyalty to somebody else in another country. I mean, come on, get the fuck out of here with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's that guy yet. People want to talk about his win this past weekend. And once again, he's talking about, I don't care. I'm not talking anything negative. I'm just assessing what I know. He's still growing in the sport. He's still growing in the sport. We don't know how far he's going to go, but I can tell you this. He's 21 years old. He has a long road ahead of him. He has plenty of time to become world champion. Believe that. He is in a heavy, heavy division. Man, you know what? I don't, not to break topic, I don't know how this dude is with this chick. She bad than a motherfucker. And this dude got a bob haircut and look like a beta male. I don't know how these dudes be pulling these. Anyway, that's ATL, I guess. But anyway, to stay on topic. Anyway, I'm just saying I'm not totally sold on Jared Anderson just yet as far as what his potential is. That's all. He has unlimited potential. He's only 21 years old, bro. Like, he has so much ahead of him. But as a heavyweight contender, wrecking shop, being dominant, I don't know. I don't know yet. To be honest, I don't know. He has work to do. And we don't have a lot of heavyweights. See, we have Trevor Bryan that's the WBA regular champion, but I don't know the next time he's going to get in the ring, man. I don't know. Yeah, Andrew say Anderson's pretty green. That's all I'm saying. Like, Anderson, we don't know about him now. Just because he's a black man and he's a U.S. Heavyweight contender, that's all I got on him. The guy he fought this past weekend was a motherfucking punching bag. The guy he fought was 22-0, wasn't he? That dude was slow. His form was pathetic. And he literally just quit in the corner. You know how you put the fighter put that mouthpiece in between? They look like Steph Curry in the boxing ring. That's how he looked. He was eager for the referee to say, please, please, por favor, amigo, please stop. You know, he was like, please stop. I don't want to take no more of this shit. And Jarrett was looking good against a guy who was there to be hit. Like, that's all that was. It wasn't no special opponent. It was a soft touch, a very soft touch. And we go on to the next one. I don't have no ill will towards Jarrett Anderson. He is what he is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know much about him. I'm not gonna sit up here and jump to any conclusions. But he's nothing of what I've seen of Deontay Wilder. That's all I'm saying. He's nothing. He's not even close. They can say he has better boxing skills. Okay. All right. You feel he put his combinations together? Fine. But we'll see as his career goes on and continues to grow, how he handles himself against bigger, heavier punchers in the heavyweight division. We will see. I wish him nothing but the best. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I wish him nothing but the best. Real talk. I wish that man nothing but the best. You know who else I wish the best? I wish Wilder the best too. You know, he's in his mid-30s. If he chooses to return back to the sport, so be it. You know what I'm saying? So be it. I'd definitely like to see him return to the ring. I don't know who he would be in line for, but motherfuckers up here acting like Dillian White is some motherfucking god now. Like, dude, did you see how Dillian White was knocked out? Why are you sitting up here trying to look past the fact because Wilder was stopped as if he's behind Dillian White now? They just putting everybody they can grab hold. Andy Ruiz, yeah, in front of Wilder. Dillian White, yeah, in front of Wilder. Who else they got down there? Daniel Dubois, yeah, put him in front of Wilder. Who else they got down there? Larry Holmes, yeah, put him in front of Wilder. Who else? Who else out there? Riddick Bowe, put him in front of Wilder. It's a tough world when you're in a sport, man, when everybody has their eyes on you and you believe you're doing everything fucking right. And people treat you like just the opposite, like, no. But yet, other motherfuckers that haven't even did anything, they haven't even scratched the surface in what you accomplish in the sport, they get more love than you get. Hell yeah, it's frustrating. Look, I'm gonna be honest, it's frustrating to hold down a relationship like that. Like, for me, I would look at it like my girl is expecting me to be this dude. My girl's expecting me to be this dude. But when I'm trying to explain, say, shit, people don't appreciate what I'm doing, I'm like, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? A fighter might get that mentality like, man, they don't appreciate what I'm doing, fuck them, I'm done. And then your girl's like, nah, you got to keep on fighting, you got to be better, you got to push through it, you're stronger than that. And she's giving you that motivation, that support system. But you're saying to yourself, like, do these motherfuckers know what I got to go through in fight camp? Do they know the punishment I take in sparring? Do they know all the road work, all the damn shit and pains and aches I got to go through? These motherfuckers better stop fucking with me. And you get that mentality. That's why I say when fighters are, people say they assholes. I'm not the type of person to just jump out and say, hey, hello, either. I'm not an asshole, but I'm not like, hey, how you doing? It's nice to meet you. Yeah, we can exchange numbers. No, fuck, no. That's not the case. Hey, Mitch, you know they put the bar in front of Deontay right now. Everybody, they put them all in that motherfucker, dog. You know what I'm saying? They put them all over there, dog. Man, shout out to Team Bomb Squad, man. You in one of the most brutal combat sports in life. You know what I'm saying? Just heal up. And then, you know, take some time to properly plan your return. You know what I'm saying? You're in a tough sport. You did incredible. People talk about warrior spirit there, Deontay, but they don't want to recognize it when it actually goes down in front of them. They talk about warrior spirit all the time. They don't want to goddamn give recognition when it actually plays out. Oh, shit. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we've been waiting for. God damn. Only if it's people who they expect that to happen. That's when it's warrior spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's when it's warrior spirit, dog. If Pacquiao gets off the canvas, it's warrior spirit. You know what I'm saying? This is such a biased sport, man. Yeah, that was the leanest I seen Anderson. Yeah, for real. And Anderson looked good out there, man. Yeah, that's the leanest I seen Anderson show up to a fight. He used to be a big boy. And you know, he was fluctuating in weight for his last fight, and the fight before that he was increasing weight. So possibly he has a nutritionist, or he has a new training regime now, Jared Anderson. I don't know, to be honest with you. But you know, individuals that get big like Anderson, sometimes it's hard for them mentally to maintain that diet and nutrition, and you're gonna see them fluctuate. But you also got to remember, he's fighting in the heavyweight division, man. It's some big boys in there. Like, look at Andy Kanaki. Andy Kanaki has that body that you like, I can't believe he's in the heavyweight division fighting. He look like he don't have a muscle in his body. But at one point in time, Kanaki was a rising contender. But then you got an individual like Robert Helenius, not the dudes you want to run up on the alley. Talk about heart. Mike Tyson. Talk about heart. Mike Tyson shouldn't say Wilder name no more. Tyson got bitched by Lewis, and Wilder ain't allowed nobody to pump Wilder wasn't kissing Fury after the fight or wiping his face. You know, I tried to make it all about Wilder. You know, Terrence, you're absolutely right. Like kissing a man in the mouth. And, you know, Mike Tyson's been saying some astronomical space age, goddamn loopy type shit. And we know when you on psychedelics and whatever else he puffing on. Another black man who dogs out black men all the time, dogs out black fighters all the time, be talking homosexual type shit. And he gets a pass because he's on Mike Tyson, who went to prison for rape, who goddamn was known to do cocaine. I treat him the same way I treat Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dogging out another black man just for general purpose. I'm telling you the facts of what went on in his life. This man dogs out a lot of black fighters. Why? Nobody forced you to bite Evander Holyfield's ear. Nobody did that. Why are you so critical of a nigga, though? You get up there and say all that damn bogus ass hotbox, nigga, my dick hard and all this other shit. Your medication ain't working. They got that nigga on some goddamn shit that's causing him to get worse. Your medication ain't working. Anyway, I'm gonna have to you know, that's a whole nother live stream, because you know, I mentioned that about people up here talking about black fight fans and supporters supporting a black fighter in Wilder and grouping us in negative groups that deals with ominous type behavior. You know what I'm saying? Rambunctious type behavior. Why? Man, come on now. Do better for yourself, man. But I gotta bounce, y'all. It's always a pleasure chopping it up with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna I've been here for a minute. For real. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Real talk. It's been a pleasure, and we should do this again. Y'all hold it down. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. I'm out.